Hello, Dehesa here. This video is not going to be super formal. I literally just finished up with dinner a few minutes ago, and in between dinner and me taking a shower, I thought I will squeeze this little recording in. Before I get started, we have something quite extraordinary, epic coming up this Thursday, February the 5th. I'm doing a masterclass. Bolder moves, faster cash. How to stop second guessing your way into slow growth in business. Masterclass is coming up live in Zoom this Thursday, February the 5th. And we already know this is going to be quite good. Right? Now, with that said, I have a story to share with you. At the beginning of my journey as a coach slash healer, I remember first of all, the very first thing that happened were that I actually really wanted to know how to utilize the internet for growing your business. So I did take like a training on how to show up on the internet, how to share your offers, like all the basics, And then the second thing I did is that I got myself in a mastermind. And I remember being in this mastermind, and there was this girl, like she was very young. I think she was like maybe in her like very, very early 20s at the time, and who was really, really killing it, right? Who was making multi five-figure months in her business, which is now my norm, but it wasn't at the time, right? And I was looking at her in awe. I was like, oh my God, this girl, she's so epic. But it was more than that. At the time, I was making a few thousands of dollars a month regularly, but it was nowhere near how much I'm making now. And it was definitely nowhere near how much this girl who was like really killing it, was making. Those were also the times where I was feeling so insecure about my accent. I was feeling so insecure about like how I spoke. I was feeling so insecure about, how I looked. I was feeling so insecure about the fact that I had braids. I was like, because this girl who was really killing it in the mastermind happened to be blonde, happened to have blue eyes, and happened to be speaking English like she was like she was born in the United States and she spoke English without an accent. The thought that crossed my mind, the things that I said to myself at the time were, if only I didn't speak English with an accent, I would be actually killing it like she was. If only my hair wasn't kinky. If only I wasn't with braids. I'm not being accepted by the market simply because I don't look like her, right? If only my eyes were like, and the thing is, I actually really, really, really believed this. Can you believe this? I actually really, truly believed it, right? But there was this other part of me which was like, well, you can still make it, but I don't know why. A part of me believed it, right? Somehow that that was a handicap. That who I was quite a handicap. Until here's what changed. Until I started really like something clicked, right? Obviously, like I've been in personal development for quite a while now. I've been really changing my energy for quite a while now. I feel like a lot of it is also connected to that. A lot of it was also connected to the fact that I started asking myself, what do I want? What do I want to create in my life? Why does that matter to me? And the big part of this is that when I started really looking at it from that perspective, I started being willing to show up, to make bolder moves, even though I may have an accent, even though I may not have like silky hair, even though I didn't trust myself, even though I was willing to really just focus on what is it that I want, what is my vision, right? And for that vision, for that which I want, and for me, it was deeper than just the surface level of like the things that I wanted to make. For me, it was not that like, for me, like, I still believe that to be true. Like, it's just true for me, right? For me, it is true that, like, just like the material doesn't move me that much. This is true for me. It doesn't mean that that's true for everybody, but that is true for me, right? And for some people, the material is really what moves them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I really, like, for me, when I connected to that other part, I was like, yeah, for this, I'm willing to face my fear. I'm willing to face my, like me feeling not adequate and still showing up. And then I started really making bolder moves from that point, like that from that perspective. What I realized when I started making bolder moves is that the bolder the moves, the faster I was growing, which blew my mind. Right? The bolder the moves I was making, the faster I was growing. And even when I look at it, like that experience that I've had in that mastermind, I look at this girl that I was, like whom I was talking about earlier, like how she was killing it. The fact of the matter is, like later down the road, I got to know her a little bit more. And one thing that I realized, because she shared, was that she also had her own insecurities. For her, her own insecurity was like, if only she was thinner, because she was on the heavier side. If only she didn't weigh that much. Her second insecurity was, if only she wasn't this young. To understand, like, if only I wasn't this young, like that was her insecurity. If only I wasn't this heavy, that was her other insecurity. And the difference between her and me at the time was that regardless of whatever the insecurity she had, she was willing to make bold moves, and she was making bold moves, right? And when I started making bold moves as well in my business, right, when I started being bold enough to show up, even though my accent is not similar to all the other accents, right? When I started like making bold moves, like really, really asking for bigger, like asking for being paid at higher rates. When I made bold moves, like I'm going to focus on this and I'm not going to take, that's when I started having, oh my God, bigger results and faster results. Right? That's really what has led to multi 5-figure months in my business regularly, not just once. Now it's very much a norm in my business. And then whenever I stagnate, whenever I become it's like, it's because like I'm not looking at it from that perspective anymore. I'm staying in my comfort zone, right? This has changed everything. The most beautiful part of this is then, because when we do that, and for me this is true, it will be true, I believe it will be true for you as well. Now it has erased that whole story for me. It has erased the story that because I speak English with an accent, that there is any limitation. Like, I don't believe that at all. At all. Right? Because I know now that even though I didn't need to remove that block. I didn't need to do any of that. What I needed to do was what? To replace the information that I kept repeating in my head, saying to myself, oh, it's because of this that I am not creating what I want, right? And I feel like that is the most beautiful part of really intentional creation, because it really helps us really release a lot of these like limitations that we put upon ourselves, and this is not something like it's gone, right? This is not something like if somebody comes down and tells me the hairstyle, it's because you have, I'm like, okay, whatever. If you say so, right? Everybody gets to believe whatever it is that they want to believe. But that belief really has been irradiated, like it's no longer existent in my mind right now, right? Is it true that some people will hear me open my mouth and be like, holy shit, what is she talking about? I don't like her accent. Yes, there will be people like that. But that's not my problem. Okay, that is not my problem, and that's not going to stop me, because beyond those people, there are also people who are, it's like the other thing I learned was that as long as people can feel the value. This is so true. As long as the people could feel, right, when I started being bold enough and showing up, and then people started really experiencing the value of what I had to share. And there's nothing bigger than that, in my opinion, right? And so the more people were experiencing the value of what I have to offer, like at least the people who come into my space, they don't care about my accent, right? As a matter of fact, a lot of the times now it's like I actually just hear compliments about, it's like what I used to think was a handicap, Anyway, so I wanted to share that with you in this video. This is really truly something that happened in my life, and now when I think about it, it makes me laugh a little bit. Sometimes the things that we think are handicap, not at all. Not at all, right? It's just how I look at it now. It's just our process of really discovering more and more how powerful we are and who we truly are beyond, really underneath all the surface stuff. So on that note, that's really what's leading to me inviting you to bolder moves, faster cash, how to stop second guessing your way into slower growth in business. I'm going to share all of it with you. I'm going to share what really needed to happen energetically, also mind-wise, and like a lot of different other things that I've gotten to experience. For me now, like it's actually become really second nature. Whenever I encounter something like that, a limitation like that, I use this exact same process, which I'm going to share with you on this masterclass, to move through it and to actually, so that I'm not being slowed down, so that I can continue growing in business, in cash received, in impact, and also for me, if you know anything, I'll continue growing spiritually for my own personal growth. Okay, so I'll put a link in the description for you to sign up for this masterclass, and I'll see you there. Bye.